The family of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has confirmed that he will personally handle his legal defense when his trial resumes on March 21. In a statement released today, Kanu's younger brother, Nnamdi Kanu, disclosed that the decision was made to ensure a fair hearing free from legal delays that have plagued the case. According to the statement, Kanu's choice to defend himself marks a significant turning point in his trial. The statement further argues that this decision will expose fundamental concerns about how the Nigerian judiciary has handled the cases related to the Biafran self-determination movement. Also, it stated that this links Kanu's decision to his previous legal victories, particularly the removal of Justice Binta Nyako from his case. Additionally, the statement accuses the federal government of handling the case with bias from the outset.
But you know the kind of person MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is. Very blunt. He doesn't hide anything. He actually exposed Binta Nyako's family, a fraudulent family. Today, Tusho said over his dead body, but he said he's not going to handle a case that was at least, vindicated or victory given to Nnamdi Kanu 2 times. In that regard, he said, if I actually begin to handle this case, what am I going to say anymore? I still find it very, wrong to preside over such case. Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly rendition into this country from Nairobi, Kenya in 2021.
Depending on your time zone and location. Chibono, settle down. The update I will tell you that be very, very important update. The latest update in Ero Internet, but only Dumaz and Nnamdi Kanu Sizikon or God defend tomorrow. No legal team here will break. Hagana Yaman defend tomorrow or Gaga court before the new judge. One now, Auburn update about authentic and very true. Una mara that na echiga de kwakpo unu ma ife mere na the last court aga na eji MAZI Nnamdi Kanu eji ikwu ife ni no ono one this new judge assigned MAZI Nnamdi Kanu ga-ejikekwere ejike wee pụta na ogbo ogu echi because echiga dey very very popo obuma popo echiga dey popo as onye ndu prepares to defend himself tomorrow before the new judge. What Biafrans are expecting to see, actually, can you watch this other video? Can you know the reactions of Biafrans concerning this case, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu? Some other update I know with some judges saying a good case before this particular judge here with her. Nde kwa also na case asina actually involved with her this case. One this new judge ga fun ketaro biati echibu 21st of March 2025. Maka MAZI Nnamdi Kanu isi no ga defend onwe nwere ife na akayobi, o nwere ife na back ya up. And that is the fact that normal law carry under na stand in na Georgia. Actually, you poke open this video, settle down, you watch this video from beginning to the end. You watch, you see the video, a kabaro, drop one opinion in the comment section. You check on the talk and share button, Biafra, and those are we want the updates. Watch the rest of the video, guys. I'll be right back.
Beautiful morning, MAZI Raf.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Once again, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated. Yes. Because yesterday we saw Binta Nyako disgraced when a new judge who just got a reassignment,
yes,
to handle the case of Nnamdi Kanu came out to say that, well, Nnamdi Kanu was unjustly arrested and by extension has even been granted a bail, that he will not have his whole hand soiled because this case has gone beyond Nigeria. The Americas, the United Nations are all involved, and he will not be a corrupt judge like the Binta Nyako. MAZI Raf, welcome. What's your reaction?
Thank you so much. It's a jubilation now correctly. Then yesterday it was a great jubilation, Biafrans all over the world, not only Nigeria, we are celebrating, shouting, joyful song, all in favor of MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. Because a justice by name, Justice Judicial, has actually asserted that handling or presiding over MAZI Nnamdi Kanu issue or case in the court might, soil his legal reputation. He said since the federal government of Nigeria has actually been defeated in the court of law by the same MAZI Nnamdi Kanu 2 times, he said, what was he going to judge again? He says MAZI Nnamdi Kanu has no case since Nigerian government wrongly renditioned Nnamdi Kanu from Nairobi, Kenya. He said he was wrongly brought into this country, that he was not going to handle the case. He washed off his hands of this case. I don't know what to understand. Thereby disgracing the former Chief Justice Binta Nyako. Yes, Binta Nyako was there wrongly because they called her for the second time, and when MAZI Nnamdi Kanu actually had confrontation with her, she actually understood that she was doing the wrong thing, and that was what actually finally excused him or recused him of that case. He left the case. Now Binta Nyako, after being disgraced, Kanu actually came out to tell Nyako that you were having fraudulent case hanging on the necks of your family, you, your son, and your husband. And that was why Binta Nyako, as a woman, started crying, because it was a legal disgrace. It was a general disgrace, public disgrace, because nobody even knew about that allegation. But you know the kind of person MAZI Nnamdi Kanu he is. Very blunt. He doesn't hide anything. He actually exposed Binta Nyako's family, a fraudulent family. Today, Tusho said over his dead body. Anyway, I don't wish him death. He's not going to die, but he said he's not going to handle a case that was at least vindicated or victory given to Nnamdi Kanu 2 times. In that regard, he said, if I actually begin to handle this case, what am I going to say anymore? I still find it very wrong to preside over such case. Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly renditioned into this country from Nairobi, Kenya in 2021. He said they should allow the gentleman to go free. Later, he joined his point by saying that he is not going to play eye service to satisfy some people, thereby gambling with his legal document or certificates. He said, what about my integrity? What matters to me is my integrity, and I don't want my integrity ruined by at least meddling on that case again. It's a case that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu has won 2 times. The man, a justice, a legal giant, actually has washed off his hands of this case. Then we know the kind of game that Tinubu-led administration is playing. Tinubu is delaying Nnamdi Kanu's release so that he will use it to bargain with the Igbos come 2027. The reason why Nnamdi Kanu is still staying there is, let's say, when 2027 comes, Tinubu is going to campaign in Igbo land. He's going to promise them that if he releases Nnamdi Kanu, you people are going to vote for me. But I'm telling you that they actually promised Anambarians when we were about electing, embarking on gubernatorial election that brought in Chief Charles Soludo, the current Anambra State Governor. Federal government of Nigeria promised Ndi Anambra that immediately that election finishes, they are going to release MAZI Nnamdi Kanu. That was why election held in Anambra State. It was all free for fight war zone. I mean Anambra and Imo State. Before that election, the soldier, the police, and the indigenous people of Biafra and the youth over there were fighting themselves over MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration. And why did election hold? It was a promise that if they did the election successfully, Nnamdi Kanu will be free. Today, MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's family, they have been at least, frequenting Aso Rock, frequenting DSS facilities in Abuja over MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's release. In the context of the promise made to them, the MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's family, when Soludo election was about to at least come. And actually, after that election, what happened today? They turned their back on MAZI Nnamdi Kanu's family. So this time around, every Igbo man, hopefully we are believing that Tinubu is playing political game to use Nnamdi Kanu at least as a bait, as a gambling or sacrifice comes 2027. We are prepared this time, waiting for him to tell him right on his face that all his political promises are nothing but deceptions and lies. If 2027 comes, Tinubu will promise and they will fail to fulfill his promise. So nobody should listen to a promise of that nature. The only thing we know is that the Igbos should work hard now, the elites, the Ohanezes, the politicians even, and the Igbo youths, to make sure that we go beyond Nigeria to see that MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is freed. They are leaving him there to use him. APC government, they are using Nnamdi Kanu there to use him again for 2027 presidential ambition or second coming of Bola Ahmed.
Okay, but we know that some Fulani oligarchs have come out to emphatically state that any judge or any government that release MAZI Nnamdi Kanu should be labeled as a terrorist. That in fact, that person has committed what we call treason. Okay, don't you think that is why this new judge ran for his life?
No. The new judge ran for his life because he has a pedigree. He has a legal pedigree, that has made him a legal erudite. And you can see he's maintaining it by avoiding stain on his own personality. Not only personality, but integrity and dignity. He's avoiding shame and disgrace, because if he gets to that court room, I know whom MAZI Nnamdi Kanu is. He is going to disgrace the man, and the man will come out in shame. So the man is trying to avoid something. Disgrace, scandal, stigma. A stigma that is at least bordering Binta Nyako now. She found herself in that stigma. Nnamdi Kanu disgraced Binta Nyako. And this kind of disgrace, it was on a plate that framework of the globe. Because the whole world is watching. And something like that, someone that was brought to court as an accused person has turned to become a judge, chief justice. Do you know the kind of, humiliation that Binta and Yako at least may have gone or underwent. It was a serious issue. The current Chief Justice is trying to avoid many things, to avoid dating his name, to avoid his certificate being at least, dented as well or disgraced. He's trying to represent something out of himself. The man has respect for law. The man doesn't have respect for injustice. That's why the man said he was wrongly brought into the Nigerian nation, that he has nothing to judge in the case. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is free, is a freed person. Vindicated many times, 2 times. So the question there is, the Fulanese oligarchs, who are they in Nigeria? The Fulani oligarchs are scapegoats we have in Nigeria. They are the nomads, the wanderers. They are the law violators we have in Nigeria. The Fulani oligarchs are the ones sponsoring terrorism across the north. In fact, if you ask me who are the terrorists in Nigeria, number 1 is the highly rated terrorist group, Fulani headers, herdsmen, number 4th in the world. In Nigeria, they are ahead Boko Haram. Boko Haram is not number 1 in Nigeria. Number 1 is Fulani headers, who are going about all the communities of all the tribes in Nigeria. Fulani headers are not only operating in the north, they operate in south, they operate in southeast, successfully in southwest, everywhere in mid-belt. They are there. They are the number 1 terrorist group we have in Nigeria. So how do you say it? There's no how Fulani will allow Nnamdi Kanu freedom, because they actually know that if Nnamdi Kanu comes out, their job, all their plans, all their deceptions don't crumble. Now it make them the vex anytime where them say make the judge Nnamdi Kanu or set him free.